Have you ever looked around at the world and thought, there has to be something more than this? Have you ever felt a deep longing for peace, for justice, for a world set right? Today, we're going to talk about a promise that has been a beacon of hope for billions of people for over 2,000 years, the second coming of Jesus. Now, know what some of you might be thinking. Okay, this sounds like something out of a history book or a fantasy novel. But stay with me, because this isn't just about ancient prophecies. It's about a future filled with hope, and what that hope means for us right here, right now. So, what exactly is the second coming? Okay, in the simplest terms, it's the belief that Jesus, who lived, taught, and died in the first century, will return to earth. But this time, he won't come as a humble baby in a manger. The Bible describes his return as a glorious, unmistakable, and global event. Think about it. Okay, the Bible is filled with passages pointing to this moment. In the book of Matthew, Jesus himself tells his disciples, "For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man." This isn't a secret, quiet event. It's described as something everyone, everywhere, will witness simultaneously. In the book of Acts, as Jesus ascends into heaven, two angels appear and tell the onlookers, this same Jesus who has been taken from you, okay, into heaven, will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven. The message is clear. He left, and he is coming back. So, why is this return so important? What's the purpose? According to Christian teachings, the second coming marks the culmination of history as we know it. It's a time of ultimate judgment and ultimate restoration. First, let's talk about judgment. The word judgment can sound scary, but let's reframe it as a moment of ultimate truth and accountability. Imagine a world where every wrong is finally made right, where justice isn't just a concept, but a reality. The Bible teaches that when Jesus returns, he will judge the world with perfect righteousness. This isn't about condemnation for the sake of it. It's about bringing an end to evil, suffering, and injustice once and for all. It's the final chapter where the villain gets his due and the story is set right. It's the ultimate promise that evil doesn't get the final say. But it's not all about judgment. In fact, the more powerful aspect of the second coming is restoration. The Bible paints a beautiful picture of what comes next. In the book of Revelation, it speaks of a new heaven and a new earth, a place where he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Can you imagine that? A world with no more sickness, no more heartbreak, no more goodbyes. A world where all the brokenness we see and experience is finally healed. This isn't just about escaping a bad world. It's about God restoring his creation to its original, perfect design. It's the ultimate happily ever after, not just for humanity, but for all of creation. It's the fulfillment of that deep-seated longing we all have for a perfect world. So, the big question people have always asked is, when will this happen? Jesus himself gave a very direct answer to this. In the Gospel of Mark, he says, "But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." Throughout history, many people have tried to predict the exact date, and they have all been wrong. Jesus was very clear that this is not for us to know. Instead of giving us a date, he gave us signs to look for not, so we can build a doomsday bunker, okay? But so we can live with a sense of hopeful expectation. He talked about things like wars and rumors of wars, famines, earthquakes, and an increase in lawlessness. Now, when we look at the news, it's easy to see these things and feel anxious or fearful. Okay, but for Christians, these signs are not meant to cause panic. They're meant to be a reminder that history is moving toward a grand conclusion, a reminder that God is still in control, and a reminder to keep our hope fixed on his promise. So, how should this belief in a future return affect our lives today? It's not about sitting around and just waiting. It's about living with purpose, urgency, and hope. First, it gives us an unshakable hope. No matter how dark the world seems, no matter what personal struggles we face, can hold on to the promise that this is not the end of the story. There is a glorious future waiting. This hope isn't just wishful thinking. It's a confident expectation based on the character and promises of God. It's an anchor for our souls in the storms of life. Second, it calls us to live differently. If we truly believe Jesus is coming back, it changes our priorities. We begin to value things that are eternal over things that are temporary. Love, kindness, forgiveness, and sharing this message of hope with others become paramount. Jesus told many parables, like the parable of the talents, encouraging his followers to be faithful with what they've been given until he returns. It's a call to action to be his hands and feet in a world that desperately needs his love. Think of it like this. If you knew a beloved king was coming to visit your town, you wouldn't just sit and wait. You'd prepare, you'd clean the streets, you'd make sure everything was in order, and you'd tell everyone the good news. Living in light of the second coming means we are actively preparing our own hearts and helping others prepare for his return. It also gives us incredible perspective. The frustrations of a traffic jam, the sting of a minor disappointment, the anxieties of daily life, they all seem a bit smaller when viewed through the lens of eternity. It doesn't mean our problems disappear, but it frames them within a much bigger, more hopeful narrative. It helps us to not get bogged down by the temporary because our eyes are fixed on the eternal. The promise of the second coming is one of the central tenets of the Christian faith. It's the final act in the grand story of redemption. It's a promise of justice, of healing, and of a world made new. It's a call to live with a hope that is real, a purpose that is clear, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. It's a topic that can be incredibly deep, and we've only just scratched the surface today. But I hope this has given you a sense of the incredible hope that this promise holds. It's not about fear. It's about the joyful anticipation of a king who loves his people and is coming back to make all things right. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this profound topic. If this resonated with you, or if you have more questions, please drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you want to forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content that dives deep into questions of faith and life? Until next time, live with hope.